Hey everyone, you know that feeling, that little knot in your stomach when you're about to start something new? Well, today we're going to talk all about that. We're diving into project risk management. But don't worry, we're throwing the boring textbooks out the window. This is going to be the fun version. Let's do this.
I mean, seriously, we've all been there, right? Whether it's a new project at your job, a new friendship that's just starting to get interesting, or heck, even trying a new recipe you saw online, you always get that little voice in the back of your head going, what's the absolute worst that could happen here? Well, believe it or not, that exact feeling, that's the core of what we're talking about today. It's just about peeking into the future to see what could trip you up so you're not caught off guard.
Okay, so where do we even begin with this? Well, step one is simple. Find the problems. It's all about being a little proactive, finding the trouble before the trouble finds you. All right, here comes the textbook definition. The fancy term is risk identification. It's basically the official process of playing detective on your own project. You're looking for clues, figuring out what could possibly mess things up, and writing it all down.
But let's ditch the jargon for a sec. All this really means is you're brainstorming all the things that could go sideways. Think about it like in an anime, right? You have two characters who start getting close. All of a sudden, there are a million new things that could go wrong. Secrets might get out, people might start talking, there could be awkward misunderstandings. What you're doing here is just making a big list of all those potential plot twists.
And yeah, this quote pretty much nails the vibe. It's all about embracing a little bit of healthy, let's call it strategic paranoia. Before things even have a chance to go wrong, you're going to sit down and imagine every single way they could. But look, the goal here is to be prepared, not to panic. Big difference. All right, so you've got this giant list of potential disasters. Awesome. Now what? You can't just keep them all rattling around in your head. You need a place to put them. And that brings us to step two, the problem diary. Okay, so in the official project management universe, this problem diary is called a risk register. Think of it as this living, breathing document where every single one of your worries gets its own little entry. And you don't just write down the problem, you add all the juicy details, like how likely it is to happen and what you're going to do about it. It's pretty much your master list of things to worry about. And this is super important. It's not something you just make once and then shove in a drawer. No, you're going to be updating this thing all the time as things change. It's your go-to logbook for any and all potential trouble. And here's what that looks like in the real world, or, well, an anime world. Let's say our character Hori keeps a life log. Check it out. She's got secret reveal as a risk. Probability, medium, but the impact if it happens, high. So what's her action plan? Hide it. Makes sense. Then there's getting teased. Probability is high, but the impact is pretty low, so her plan is just ignore it. See how this organizes everything? And, oh, look at the last one, getting closer. That's a positive risk. High probability, high impact. Her action is just to accept it. Love that. So yeah, that's really all it is. Don't overcomplicate it. A risk register is just a diary for all your potential problems.
That's it. Simple.
Okay, you have your problem diary. But let's be honest, not all problems are created equal, right? Some are just tiny little annoyances, and others are, well, potential catastrophes. So that brings us to our next step. You've got to rank your worries. And the fancy term for this step is Qualitative Risk Assessment. Now, the big word to focus on here is subjective. That means we're not doing any math yet. Nope. This is all about using your gut, your experience, your intuition to just quickly sort through that list and figure out what's a big deal and what's not. It really is all about that gut feeling. So if Hori's thinking about her secret getting out, that's an immediate high risk, right? That's the panic emoji. Getting teased a bit, that's more of a medium, the neutral face. And a couple of small awkward moments, that's definitely low, a total non-issue. You're just quickly bucketing your problems based on how much they freak you out. And honestly, this is the whole point. You don't need a spreadsheet for everything. Sometimes your brain just has that built-in alarm system that starts blaring and screaming, "This is bad. Pay attention to this one," and you should probably listen to it. But what about when your brain screams, "This is bad"? For those really big, hairy, scary problems, just a gut feeling isn't going to cut it. That's when we have to call in the reinforcements. Welcome to step 4, overthinking with math. This is Quantitative Risk Assessment. So we're leaving all those fuzzy gut feelings at the door. Now it's all about objective data. We're going to slap some actual numbers on these problems to figure out exactly how bad they could be.
So, you do the work, you run the analysis, and you figure out the actual probability of that secret getting exposed is, let's say, a 40% chance. Okay, now we've got a real number.
And the impact if it does get out, you calculate the potential social damage is a whopping 90%. Whew. See, now that vague, anxious feeling has been turned into cold, hard data. And this is just perfect. This is literally what happens when overthinking meets mathematics. You're basically channeling all that anxiety into a calculator, but it's for a good cause. You're turning that fear into facts, and that's how you make a really solid plan. Phew, okay, we've gone through a lot, from just brainstorming worries to doing legit math on them. So let's do a super quick recap followed by a little pop quiz to see what stuck. So here it is, the whole thing in 4 steps. 1. Find the risks. 2. Store the risks in your register. 3. Rank them with your gut. And 4. Measure the big ones with math. Find, store, rank, measure. That's the whole shebang. Easy. All right, quiz time. Question 1. What's the main goal of qualitative risk assessment? Is it A, getting exact numbers, or B, prioritizing risks quickly? The answer is B. It's all about sorting them fast, using your gut. And question number 2, which of these tools is basically our problem diary? Is it A, the risk identification list, or B, the risk register? And of course, the answer is B, the risk register, the master list of all our worries. And that really just brings it all home, doesn't it? First you find your problems, then you write them down, then you judge them, and then you calculate how badly they're going to destroy you. I know, it sounds super dramatic, but that's not the point. You're not trying to scare yourself. You're trying to prepare yourself. It's about turning that vague sense of what if into a solid plan of what to do. And that, my friends, is how you handle pretty much anything life throws at you.